Her fingers, cool and soothing, moved through his hair. Each stroke was a whisper of comfort, a balm against the throbbing pain in his head. He wanted to open his eyes to see her face, but his eyelids felt impossibly heavy. "You're safe," she murmured, her voice a soft melody in the quiet room. "Everything is going to be all right." He clung to her words, letting them chase away the shadows that lingered at the edge of his consciousness. Her presence was a beacon, guiding him back from the darkness. He wanted to tell her how much her words meant, how her touch anchored him to the present, but his throat felt dry and scratchy. He managed a small groan, a sound that spoke volumes of his exhaustion and relief. She smiled, a sad, wistful curve of her lips. He sensed the weight behind it, the echoes of stories untold. Her past was a mystery, a tapestry woven with threads of both darkness and light. She had arrived on his doorstep like a storm, her eyes filled with a haunting sadness that mirrored his own. He hadn't asked questions, not wanting to break the fragile peace that had settled between them. Now, as she cared for him, he found himself drawn to her enigma, desperate to unravel the secrets she held so close. He knew only that her name was Ilara, and that she carried the weight of the world on her slender shoulders. He inhaled sharply, a metallic tang filling his nostrils. Blood, his blood. It mingled with the scent of her perfume, a heady mix of jasmine and something musky, something that spoke of faraway lands and forgotten dreams. The scent grounded him, reminded him that he was still alive, still breathing. He tried to piece together the events that had led him here, to this moment of vulnerability. He remembered the alley, the flash of a blade, the searing pain that ripped through his side. And then Ilara, appearing as if from nowhere, her eyes blazing with a fierce determination that belied her delicate frame. "Don't try to speak," Ilara whispered, her fingers pressing lightly against his lips. "Just rest." He wanted to argue, to demand answers. Who were those men? Why had they attacked him? But her gaze held him captive, a mixture of concern and something else. Fear. He saw it flicker in the depths of her eyes, a fleeting shadow that vanished as quickly as it had appeared. It was then he realized that Ilara was guarding secrets of her own, secrets that ran as deep as the scars he knew she hid beneath her long sleeves. They were two souls, bound together by circumstance and a shared understanding of pain. He reached for her, his hand trembling as it stretched out towards hers. She didn't flinch away, but he sensed a tightening in her posture, a subtle withdrawal. Her past, whatever it held, was etched on her like a brand. He saw it in the way she flinched at sudden noises, in the way she avoided his gaze when he asked too many questions. "Ilara," he rasped, his voice hoarse. "What are you so afraid of?" She shook her head, her hair a cascade of midnight black, shielding her expression. "It's nothing," she murmured, her voice barely a whisper. "It's not important." But he knew it was important. It was everything. The silence stretched between them, thick with unspoken words and unspoken fears. He wanted to bridge the gap, to reach out and soothe away the shadows that haunted her, but he didn't know how. He was a stranger, a man pulled from the wreckage of his own life. What right did he have to demand her trust, her vulnerability? Yet as he lay there, his body mending under her care, he felt a connection to this enigmatic woman that ran deeper than any he had ever known. He knew with a certainty that defied logic that their destinies were intertwined.